Can you hear me? Yay. Well, welcome. If you're new, amazing. We're going to start off with a quick welcome for you and let you learn to navigate the course. And then we're going to go right into the second topic chat session over some of the content. So I'm sure if you're in here, you've already figured out how to get onto the home page and click on the site. You've probably already seen my information page. Main thing, keep my phone number in your cell phones in case you have quick questions that you don't want to wait on an email to answer. Monday through Friday from 4:30 to 9, I can usually respond right away. But then during the day, I teach face-to-face. So it's harder for me to get right back to you. And, of course, my chat sessions are Mondays at 6. And you guys have already got a copy of your schedule. If not, just go to the home page, to the course information widget, and click on 16-week, and that'll bring up your schedule. It works Wednesday through Tuesday, so everything through Tuesday is due the next day. If you can, print it out, because that way you could highlight or cross out things as you do them, and it's so much easier to keep up with them if you have it printed out and stuck up on your bulletin board or something. And assignments are always due Wednesdays at 11:59. If you are in the 16-week group, remember, I'm going to keep talking about Wednesday being a due date, but it's not yours. You have just started, and everybody gets this week to get used to the course. So your first assignments are not due until a week from Wednesday. So I'm sorry if there's a little confusion. You get an extra week when you first start off. Just remember, by midnight on Wednesdays, but this week, you don't have anything due on Wednesday. There won't be anything, I'll grade it, but you won't be penalized for anything if you don't turn it in. After your due date starts, remember, you can still get credit if you turn something in late, but you're going to lose 20 points. So do your best to turn your work in on time, because just to get a B, you're going to have to score a 100 on any late work. And if you turn it in after Friday at midnight, we can't accept it at all. Or at least you still get the 0, even if we take the work. I don't know what that was. And as you notice, we keep going over this. It's really interesting. Even though due dates are due Wednesday, we always give you one last due date of the course, and that's going to be the Friday. So you'll have a due date that's the 20th, and all your work will be done by that Friday. But then we also have a due date Friday, and then we have Thanksgiving or winter break, and then that due date stuff you have until December the 3rd to turn it in. So when we get closer to that, I'll be explaining that to you. If you're attending another school and it has breaks that don't go with Georgia Virtuals, remember, we still have to go by our schedule. So if you see something coming up and you're going to be gone, go ahead and work ahead. You can work all the way to the end of the semester if you understand the content. But you just don't need to work behind. It's a really great group. Also, whatever content we go over on the chat session that you participate in, you'll get 5 extra points added to your test for that topic. So, up to 10 points. So, if you attend 2 on one content, you could get 10 points added to your test. Just to get you guys to show up on Mondays. We're coming up on bad weather days, storms, snowstorms, hurricane, all that. So just remember that there's always a chance one of our computers is going to go out, and just try to have a backup plan. Try to have your phone charged. Many times you can do everything on the phone. You can attend a chat session on your phone. You can even do homework on your phone, because for math, the majority of our assignments, you just click the submit button. There are only a few assignments that you upload, and those are the 4 projects. So just have a backup plan, a neighbor, a phone or something, and let me know immediately. Don't wait until a week after and then tell me that your computer wasn't working. If it glitches during a quiz, you need to let me know right then, not the next day. Okay, because if a due date's coming up and you wait until Wednesday to submit a quiz and it doesn't work, then you need to get with me right then so we can try to get it straightened out before the quiz is due. And remember, this is an amazing site. The Student Success site, it's on your homepage twice. Let's see, if you go to the drop down from Student Resources menu, and if you go to the course information widget, it has so much information, including how to set up all the Office 365 stuff if you're using it. And I'm sorry, my images are just not working tonight, but that's okay. I'm trying to keep it short. I've been emailed by some of you, and I hope you're getting my email. But if you click, when you see our homepage, it immediately, the very first thing you see, shows you how to set up your Georgia Virtual email. So I'm hoping you've already done that by now. If not, just follow those simple directions, and you'll get all the emails from me, because I can't correspond with you on Gmail and Yahoo and stuff like that. We have to work with each other just on the Georgia Virtual email. And remember, all this stuff comes with your Georgia Virtual Student. Just go to the Student Success site, and it'll tell you how to download all of this, and you get it on up to 5 computers. So this is great. On the 4 projects, those are the only things you upload. Please upload them as a document, a PowerPoint, PDF, MP3. Make sure that you don't send some strange file. And please don't send me like 6 images for a project, because I have to click on each one individually. Also, do not submit homework practice. The only things that you guys are responsible for submitting are the quizzes that are already in there, and all you have to do, like you learned when you went to the student orientation, is just to submit the quizzes. The homework practice sets that are in your content are strictly for you. You don't even have to print them. You can just look at them. And also they come with a key and give you most of the answers, so you know you're getting them. I see Haley is typing. Do you have a question, Haley? Anyway, remember, guys, if you go into the content and you do the homework practice, you do not submit them ever. No, you will never have to submit the homework practice. Okay? At the end of the semester, if any of you need extra credit, I always give you extra credit, separate little assignments. And normally there are quiz replacements or test replacements, and they'll be in a separate site. But I don't usually offer those till later. The homework practice is just to get you ready for the quizzes. And you can always email me questions, because we don't give you the key for every single question. So you can just email me and let me know what number you're looking for if you're having trouble. Sorry, I'm already losing my voice. Y'all are going to do fantastic. All right, and I'm not worried about this. Sometimes we have discussions and I ask you for examples of something. Maybe out of the hundreds of students I've seen, maybe 2 or 3 have tried to copy and paste something from Purple Math. So just put things in your own words. It makes a lot more sense. I'm not looking for any long explanations. If I ask you in a discussion to give me an example and explain, I'm not looking for a long explanation, just something that tells me you understand what you're doing. And remember all the resources available. If you look on your home page, you will see over on the in the content, over on the side, it has a thing that says extra resources. Well, in addition to that, if you go to my home page and scroll down past the course information widget, all the way down to where the chat sessions are recorded, you will see probably over 100 extra resources by topic. And that way you can click on those and get even more help. A lot of videos and interactive stuff. This is the preferred browser, but I've had some people tell me that you have Chromebooks. So, of course, the only thing you can use is Google Chrome. Just so I know that sometimes things won't open as easily and maybe videos won't play. So we'll try to work around that as we get to it. But if you see something that doesn't work and then you try a different browser, then contact me. But normally, if you will try to use Firefox, then everything will open because that's how the site was created. Just check your email every day if you can. Pop in, make sure nothing's changed, nothing's come up. You don't have to email me every day. If you don't want to, that's fine. But if you just look daily, even if you don't plan on working on your math every single day, that'll be super helpful. I'll show that later.
Now that you've completed a quiz or a test and it has been graded,
I can't make it big.
now that you've completed a quiz or a test and it has
Sorry, I'm trying to make her stop. There, maybe if I change the page. There we go. I'm showing that to you separately. As you know, this is my jigsaw. Sometimes if you guys are ahead, I'll get done with the lesson and I'll just stay online for 30 minutes after just to see if y'all go off and do your work and you come back and have questions. So sometimes our lessons take between 20 and 40 minutes. Very seldom do we go for the entire hour. But I will stay online for an hour in case some of you just have questions for me that don't have anything to do with the lesson. During the lesson, you're always feel free to type whatever your question is about, and I'll stop and answer. These things are for you. They're not for me. And if you need something that does not have anything to do with what I'm talking about, we'll go ahead and take care of you. Because remember, all of you are not in the same place at the same time. So 16-week, I'll be a little bit ahead of you. And then when the 14-week students come in, I'll be way ahead of them. So I just try to do the chat sessions, the lecture part and the lessons on the 18-week group, and then work with the others individually. And remember, I record them all, so watch them at your convenience. You can get a microphone. I see some of you have enabled yours. All you got to do is let me know you want to talk, and I'll depress my talk button and press yours, and then you'll be good to go. You are always welcome to talk if you prefer it. I have trouble getting a lot of students to do that. They prefer to type. But remember, that's completely up to you. And I promise to grade your work within 3 school days. I'll try to grade it within 1 school day. And then if ever there's something in there, like you'll do a discussion and maybe you haven't responded because nobody had something in there, you may see a 70. Please don't panic. As soon as somebody puts stuff in and you can respond to it, I always go back and change your grade. But as a teacher, we are required to grade it. So we can't wait and just leave it blank until you get your things in. So if you see a 70 on a discussion, please know it's not permanent. We're just waiting on you to go back and respond to 2 other people. I give you a 70 for your discussion question, and then I give you 15 points for each student that you respond to. And please, I'm sorry, my dogs. And please review feedback, because sometimes it's going to also have links for you to check. If you look at the feedback on the quizzes that's in there, it actually gives you the answers to the problems you missed, and it shows you how to work them out. So that's really important. And this is how everything is graded. The coursework and quizzes is simply the homework quizzes and the quizzes. We just lump those together. Test and projects, 40%. I don't have any essays in math. And then your final exam is 15%. And I'm not sure this is going to work, so I'm going to show it in a different video. These are the dates for the Brightspace help sessions. You and your parents may want to watch it just so that, you feel very comfortable navigating. But you're at my chat session, so I'm assuming that you really are doing a great job. And this is just the directions. These are also on your schedule syllabus that I sent. It just tells you how to enter the room. And you can get a certificate for it if you go to a Brightspace, and you'll get extra point credit on an assignment for your whatever subject you get it to. Normally all of them. And that's it. So that was for the 16-week group. Also, see if I can minimize. You are the 16-week group, even though I may be working a little ahead. This is also in Unit 1. This is just the second part of Unit 1. Last week, and this has been recorded, we went over transformations, rotations, reflections, congruent similarity, and then the very next part of it was on angles. So we're going to look at that real quick. Before we switch over, I would like to know if anybody has any questions. Actually, I think I'll go over the due assignments now that I've got more people here. So let's see if I can figure this out. They've changed it a little. First of all, the 16-week, this is what you're working with, and this shows you that nothing is due this Wednesday. But next Wednesday, you've got 3 assignments due. The introduction discussion, TCS homework quiz 1, and these are all submitted through the assessment Dropbox, and then TCS quiz 1. So these 3 assignments are due from you August the 28th. So I hope that makes sense. Now let's see what's due from the 18-week group. Wish that was bigger. Okay, so the 18-week group, you have the TCS quiz 1 and the TCS homework quiz 2. So those are the 2 assignments that are due from you day after tomorrow. Now, I hope that makes sense. Now, does anybody have any questions for me before I go any further? Because, like I said, I'm about to go to the documents. Angles. Okay, are you sure? All right, if you're 16 week and you're not ready for this lesson or you're not interested, it's always okay at any time in my chat sessions for you to, if I'm doing something that you don't need right then, you can get out of the chat session. Don't worry, you won't be penalized. And remember that I record them all, so you can always go back and check the recording. And the one I'm looking at now, see if I can get it to work, is just different lines, because once you get these lines formed by the transversal, if you can tell me what one angle is, you'll be able to tell me what all of them are. We deal with perpendicular, parallel, adjacent, vertical, transversal, corresponding, but we really don't deal with skew lines that much in 8th grade. So you're probably not going to be tested over those at all right now. You will, however, need to know the rest of them. And then perpendicular, you've had before. It makes 90-degree angles. Parallel, I'm not worried about you knowing those. They never intersect. And skewed, they don't intersect and they're not parallel. They're just different. So, like I said, you don't have to understand them. If you ever see a symbol and it doesn't, I'm trying to move it over. It's funny. It's not going to let me. Parallel is just 2 lines. Looks like absolute value symbols. Somehow it got messed up on the PowerPoint. But it just looks like absolute value symbols. And perpendicular, this looks like an upside down T, because you can see that it meets at a right angle. You can see it's going a little nuts here. Okay, adjacent simply means they're side by side. They have a common vertex and they share a side. So 2 and 3 are adjacent, and they're simply made by two intersecting lines. And these are supplementary. But adjacent just means side by side. And then there's vertical. They always make me think of a bow tie. Vertical are the same thing as opposite, and they're always equal. So 2 and 4 are congruent, and you could, even if you were solving an equation, you could literally put an equal sign between the 2 and the 4, and I could say 2x equals 4, and you would know that x is 2. Same thing for 1 and 3. They are equal. So if you know one, you know the other. And then you've seen the tick marks. They're just letting you know which angles are congruent, because sometimes triangles may be congruent side by side, but you're not sure how they've been turned. And the tick marks are going to show you where the angles are that are congruent. That'll let you know. And this is the thing that's so easy. You've got two parallel lines and a transversal, and it's the line that just intersects these two. And T, this is a transversal. And the cool thing about it is, see this set of angles up here and the set of angles at the bottom? They're identical. Okay? 1 and 5 are red. They're in the same place on the set of parallel lines. 2 and 6, notice how they're the same color. They're corresponding. They're in the same place. 3 and 7 correspond, and 4 and 8. And also, 2 and 6 are congruent, 1 and 5 are congruent, 3 and 7 are congruent, and 4 and 8. So it makes it so easy. If I give you angle 1, you know that it's next to 2, so the two of them add up to 180. So all you do is subtract angle 1 from 180 to get angle 2, and that gives you these two angles. And you know that these two are congruent and these two. And then you know that these 4 are the same as these. So it's really easy. If you know one angle, you can figure out all the rest. Here they're saying that line N and line P are parallel, and they wanted to know the measure of the angle. So what they've done is the parallel lines are this way instead of that way. Well, you've still got your 4 lines here, and that means that angle 1 and angle 130 on a straight line add up to 180. So if you subtract 130 from 180, you get 50. So we know that angle 1 is 50. We know that angle 3 is 50. We also know 130 and angle 2 are vertical angles, so we automatically know that this is 130. There's so many different ways to figure that out. Does that make sense? Good. This is one of the, it's just fun, because if, like I said, they may even put equations in there, but if they give you one angle, you can find the rest. In this one, they want angle 3. Well, we've already figured out C5 and whatever that is, I guess 5, 6, 7 maybe. So that would be 5 and 7 are the same as 1 and 3. And 1 is 50 and 3 is 50. So we know that, or you can subtract 130 from 180 to find out that 1 is 50. You can also see that 130 and 3 are on a straight line. So there are numerous ways to find out that angle 3 is 50. And they said all the acute angles are 50. Angle 4, we already know angle 4 is in the same place as 130 in angle 2. And 6 and 4, so they're also 130, because all the obtuse angles are 130. And then we're looking for angle 3. We've got new ones. They're telling us all the obtuse angles. All the big angles are 135. meaning that all the others to equal 180 have to be 45. So if this is one of the acute angles, it's 45. It's vertical to this one. I mean, they're always going to add up to 180 if they're side by side on that straight line. And then angle 4 is an obtuse angle. So these two are the same as these two. So it's automatically 135. And that's how easy it is for you to find angle measures just looking at the relationship of the angles. You can either subtract from 180 or you can use the measurements that you have. All right, I need some help from you guys if you're there. That's a lot of stuff. We want to know which one. Remember, you learned in 7th grade complementary and supplementary. And complementary is 90, two angles that add up to 90. Supplementary is two angles that add up to 180. So we're looking at angle F, that's angle A, and that's angle E. So that is 20. All you need to do is subtract 20 from 90 because complementary angles add up to 90. And that gives you 70. So do you guys see an angle there that is 70 degrees? See? Let's see. DAE. Perfect. Thank you. So y'all get it, don't you? It's just hard to do it without it being on paper. Anytime you have a test like this on the computer, I know it's so much easier if you have paper where you can highlight these angles. So, you know, feel free to put a piece of paper up there that you can see through so you can figure it out. Now we're looking supplementary to GAB. GAB is 120. And remember, to get supplementary, you subtract from 180. So 120 from 180 is 60. So we're looking for a 60-degree angle. And that's BAC. Perfect. I hope it makes sense. You guys appear to be really on the ball with this. And this is like the second lesson in your TCS. So you'll have some quiz questions on this. Which pair are adjacent? Now, probably a lot of them are adjacent, but they want you to pick from here. So there's BAC, and there, one way you can tell without even looking up here, see where it says BAC, GAF? Only one of the angles, only 1 point. CAD, DAE, you figured it out. See where it's AD and DA? If you have two of the angles, that means they share an angle and a side. So that's the one you want. The rest of them only have one in common. Good job. You're really doing great with this. You must understand this really well. All right, which ones are vertical? You're looking for what makes you think of a bow tie, and it kind of stands out. See this right here and this. So those are your vertical angles. So do you see an EAG or a GAE? Oh, there it is. EAG and BAC. Do y'all see how those are vertical? You ignore this one in the middle. You're just looking for the bow tie look. Perfect. And then we're doing the same thing, complementary, 90 degrees. And if one is 35, you just subtract it from 90 to get the measure of the other. It's really more algebra than it is geometry. Perfect. And J and K are supplementary, same thing here. If one is 84, you subtract from 180. And then that's going to give you perfect. This one, it says angle 1 is 48. So what is 4? I know you guys know this one. I got to quit officially calling it a bow tie, don't I? Absolutely. It's congruent because it's a vertical angle. And then this, sometimes you'll see like this. If angle 4 is 2x and angle 5 is 4x, what is x? Well, you're going to set up your equation because they're on a straight line. You're going to say 4x plus 2x equals 180. And then combine your x's. So you can see where the algebra comes into the angle relationships in this point. And you're going to combine like terms. Oh, you already got it. You're so good. Anyway, that's it for the angle relations. Now, that's also, well, someone let me know if you have already started the integer exponents. Because I don't want to go that far ahead, but if there's, 2 or 3 people working on it, I'll do that. That's really what I have for next week. I am going to post a schedule. I'll work that up tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to post a schedule of my chat sessions, and that way you will know which date that I'm doing what topics, and that'll kind of help you plan, okay? Now, if you're new, I'm going to show you this in case you haven't seen it. See if I can get this to work. It's very quick.
Now that you've completed a quiz or a test and it has been graded, how should we check the feedback? Go ahead to the completed quiz or test, select the drop-down arrow next to it. Select Submissions. When you select Submissions, you'll be able to see your attempt, the feedback icon, as well as your score. Select your attempt 1. When you select your attempt, you can see your overall feedback located up here at the top, and then you can also see your individual question feedback for those questions that you missed. So question 1 we missed, we can see the feedback for it, and our answer would be true. So do this for each and every question.
Okay, so I'm hoping y'all know that every time you submit something, you can check your feedback as soon as I grade it, and I will definitely try to grade it quickly. Now, I am finished, but I'm here for you, so let me know if anyone needs anything from me or has a question about anything. If not, we have finished in 32 minutes. But like I said, once I stop the recording, I'll stay online for anyone who wants to come back on and has questions. I'll be online until 7. Thank you. You definitely did a fantastic job, and you earned your points toward the TCS test. Have a great night, and welcome again to the class. I think you're going to do a fantastic job. Thank you. Goodbye. Let's see, Haley or Nate, do y'all have anything for me that you need help with? I'll be glad to take care of it now.